morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome to SCV Today. I'm Tami Edwards.
I'm Dave Caldwell, and we always like to say we have a fun show for you, and I think we're going to have a good one here for you today. We've got a lot of things to talk about. It's been a very busy few days.
It has been.
So we do have a lot of things to talk about. We've got some fun guests that are going to be on. But you just said...
little self-defense moves today.
Yeah, we're going to learn a little self-defense. Yeah, we'll go into that right now.
I don't know what that was. I said self-defense. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a Tamiism.
This is self-defense?
It's a new Tamiism.
So anybody who does this...
Self-defense.
You better watch out, bad guys.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we're going to be taught from the Ultimate Self-Defense Academy. I think I'm getting that right. They're going to come in and they're going to give us a little bit of a demonstration.
Yes, I'm excited because as we reported, rape is up, and I need to know how to defend myself.
Violent crime is up, and that's the thing that's kind of scary to me. It's just a crazy, wacky world out there.
But as our population grows, I mean, we would have to think that it would grow a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then when we've got our governor slashing our police force and letting people out of prison, that happens as well. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, thank you, Forrest. We also have Rich Green on the program from Green Landscape Nursery, one of our more popular guests. And of course, I noticed he came into the studio just a little bit ago. I don't know where he went off to, but he's got a bunch of stuff to spray.
And I want to point out that he is here in the building. He's here. Because last time we teased him all show, and then he wasn't here. Rich
I think, Rich, you got to answer to Tammy here in just a minute when you come back out here.
He doesn't know. But Rich gives so much of his time, and he's always right. He just gets overbooked, and that's what happened.
That's where Rich is in life right now. That's very true. Rich is now giving to the community much more than he's getting. Right. Certainly, and he's at that point.
This morning I was in hair and makeup, and we were watching SCV TV, and there was a segment at Peachland Elementary School, and Rich Green. Right. I'm like, there's Rich.
Right. Yeah. So. Now, speaking of past episodes and such, you mentioned to me just before we came on here, you said, Dave, there was something we talked about during the Le Shen show from last week when we were doing a whole list of romantic things.
Right.
And you said you need to make a correction.
Yes.
Okay, tell me.
Because Mr. Edwards was not happy that I forgot something.
Oh, my gosh.
So you talked about handmade gifts. Right. I said, well, I think there was the whole rock thing. And he goes, did you forget the concrete stone I made you with the kids' handprints and all?
Wow.
I forgot.
That's a great gift.
Yeah. It was before Billy was born. There's only 3 handprints on there.
Oh. Now you need to get one from that has all 4 now.
Yeah. It's so sad. Lindsay, there's 2 baby albums, photos. Billy, it's like, I might have a photo of you.
We don't know if he actually existed before the age of 12?
I think Grandma took one at one point.
Well, that shows the difference between number 1 and number 4, right? As the progression goes down, so much attention goes to the number 1, and then by the time you get to number 4, it's like, make your own breakfast. You're 2.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, you're a year. You don't know how to work that DVD.
Watch your own Barney.
Yeah,
I don't have to do it for you.
Yeah.
This month, I'm real excited about this. We call him Jared. You'll see him listed in the credits as Mohammed Kazim Ali, one of the guys who works on the program here. And he came up to me after our last show, and he said, would you please mention that this is the holiest month for Muslims? This is the month of Ramadan.
Right.
And can you please wish everyone a happy Ramadan to the Muslim community in Santa Clarita? And so we do wish that. And it's been fascinating.
Right.
He was in here talking with us before the program started. We were asking him questions about it. We're gonna have Jared on the program.
Yeah, it was really interesting because we were just like firing questions at him because I've never had an opportunity to ask anyone of the Muslim faith any questions. Yeah. And we were just enthralled with what we were hearing. And Jared's such a great, I don't like calling him Jared, I call him Muhammad, that's his name.
That is his name.
And I don't think
it's an insult to him because when he came, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, because when he came to this country, Americans said, Muhammad Kazim Ali, no, you're Jared. I mean, how arrogant of Americans to do that.
Yeah. I told you, Americans are lazy too. If it looks too difficult, no, you're John. You know, I mean, you just can't. So he's Mohammed to me. And he is so nice. And he actually teaches at a mosque.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
but really opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Really opened my eyes. I was very arrogant about the whole Muslim faith, and I'm loving what he's taught us just in 10 minutes before the show.
I don't feel that I'm arrogant as much as I am naive. I don't know nearly enough.
Did I say arrogant?
You did.
I meant
wondering
ignorant.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. But
oh, dear Lord, it's going to be one of those days. I'm arrogant about other things. I'm ignorant about that.
But you're certainly not ignorant to your arrogance.
I'm not ignorant to my ignorance.
Or your arrogance, exactly. The Ramadan, it is the Muslim month. I'm going to read this. This is out of Wikipedia, so because I did my research for this, because we wanted to honor this.
Because you first said it, and I'm like, oh, what is that? I'm like, well, there's no Muslims in Santa Clarita, and according to Muhammad, there's a huge Muslim community here.
Yeah, and as he pointed out a couple of days ago when we were talking about this to me, he said Ramadan is to Muslims what Christmas is to Christians. And so this is obviously a very, very important time. It is the Muslim, and I'm going to read out of Wikipedia as I pulled this out. It is the Muslim month of fasting in which Muslims refrain from dawn until sunset from eating, drinking, and sexual relations, as well as...
Why'd you look at me on that word?
Because that's something that usually, I was waiting for the response.
I usually what? Have sexual relations all during the day?
No, you don't. I don't know what you do during the day.
What's Tami doing? She's in the bathroom again. What do you think?
I don't think anything. You're always the one who jumps into it.
And sexual relations? Like...
Well, you brought up at Lishan that after relations, you like to have some nachos and a Dr. Pepper. So
but I don't do that during the day.
Well, I don't know what you do. I don't have... Jason doesn't talk to me about these things. It's not like... Guys aren't like women. Guys don't come out... Jason doesn't come to me and say... What is Austin saying? What is Austin? Talk to me.
Oh, dear Lord.
Austin,
all I've got to say is I'm not the person sitting here that goes on 2-hour lunch breaks, and that's all I'm going to say.
I don't go on 2-hour lunch breaks.
Dave Caldwell, do not lie right now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna look you right in the eye. I do not go on 2-hour lunch breaks.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2.5-hour lunch breaks. Hey, I'm giving
go.
you credit. I'm giving you 2.5 hours, buddy. Take it.
I'll look in the camera. I will look in the camera. I will look at you in the eye. I have not ever done that. I know what you're thinking, and I have never, ever done that. I haven't.
That was God, by the
way. Let's move on because this is going to deteriorate quickly. But
they can eat and have relations and everything during the dark
after the
areas.
sun. Yeah, during the dark time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
we need
nighttime.
we need to have Muhammad on next week and really get into details on it.
We want to do that.
Well, we'll let because I think we're killing the story. Let him talk about it.
I also want to talk about there's something else because Leon Warden is with SCV TV and he is such an historian for Santa Clarita, and he brought this to my attention a couple days ago, and I know because your father used to work at Magic Mountain.
He worked there before they opened.
And you remember a lot of these things, and so he has written something in one of our sister websites, scvhistory.com, which gets an amazing number of people going to it.
45,000 unique viewers a month.
Yeah.
But here's what's really interesting about that, because that's a huge number in itself, but average page views per visit, 10 page views per visit. So somebody goes there looking for one thing specifically, and next thing you know, they're looking at 10 pages because there's so much information on there, and that's a big number.
So he was pointing out that of course, for Magic Mountain, they have had a long association with the Warner Brothers characters, but before, actually, they had the association with the Warner Brothers characters, then that went away. And when it went away, they had...
Bloop, Bleep, and the King. I don't even need to read it.
King Troll, a.k.a. King Blop, it says here, and the Wizard. And at least one notable park employee who wore the Bleep costume would go on to make a big name for herself. Oscar nominee Deborah Winger. And if you remember from Urban Cowboy, An Officer and a Gentleman, Terms of Endearment, Legal Eagles. So here's the story for Deborah Winger, who grew up here in Santa Clarita. She remembers that it was between Christmas and New Year's in 1972, and I'm reading right out of from scvhistory.com, what Leon wrote. It was between Christmas and New Year's in 1972 when she sustained a serious on-the-job injury. 17-year-old Deborah was being driven to a location in the park in a Cushman vehicle. That's like, if you now are becoming a golfer, So you see the Cushman vehicles running around golf courses.
Right.
They're the ones that usually carry
Like a
sprinklers
landscaping
and stuff.
golf cart.
Yeah, exactly. They've got a little back end like a pickup truck. She was being driven to a location in the park in a Cushman vehicle when she, quote, went out the back end in costume. According to the news reports, she was partially paralyzed and temporarily blinded. Her recovery took many months. Incidentally, she remembers that Bloop was a nice guy, it says here. Deborah's older brother, Mark, would become superintendent, and he still is to this day, superintendent of the Newhall School District.
That's right.
So interesting little tidbits of story in that, or history in that.
I loved Bloop and Bleep. Oh my gosh, I loved them so much when I was little. It was like the big deal to see them.
I bet.
Yeah.
I got here in 1989. No, 1990. Excuse me, 1990. I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
I have, my father was given a watch, and it had to have been probably about 1974, 75, a watch from Magic Mountain with the troll. I have the troll watch still. Yeah, it's cool. And I've got a lot of stuff to give Leon. I've got the old newsletters that they did when the revolution went. Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, when we come back, we've got a segment that we talked about a few days ago and a couple of shows back. And I've got some new information, and it kind of brings up a new little topic that I'm going to need some help with from Mrs. Edwards as well as you. I need some feedback from you, so stay tuned.
Escape reality at the Ivy Day Spa in Valencia. Relax your mind in our tranquil solarium. Unwind during your VIP massage. Rejuvenate with advanced diamond tip microdermabrasion, or choose from a variety of facial treatments. For a unique spa experience, visit the grotto, where you'll enjoy a full body exfoliating scrub in an exotic setting. Schedule your escape today and receive a 50% discount on a VIP grotto experience with your next full service treatment at the Ivy Day Spa in Valencia.
I'm Dan Sturkle, General Manager for Nissan of Valencia. If you like your money as much as the next guy, we say hold on to it. Here at Nissan of Valencia, $99 down delivers any new or used vehicle in stock. Hard to believe? Here's our disclosure. Blah, blah, blah. Total from you, $99. Oh, and blah, blah, blah on approved credit. Bankruptcies, foreclosures, late pays, hey, it's all okay here. We have tons of banks vying for your business. Nissan of Valencia, home to the $99 down delivers. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to the program, and before I get into my thing, I know that you got a lot of stuff.
I have a news story that I actually want to talk about. So I had breakfast yesterday morning with Dante Acosta, and he was telling me that up at the Eternal Valley that there's been some thefts, that people have been stealing the brass vases. That people, so what they do is they go down in the ground, and then you unscrew it and lift it up, and then you put the flowers in it, and they've been stealing them from there, and it has been stolen from Rudy, his son's gravesite.
Just to get to the brass.
Just to get to the brass.
The brass itself.
Also, Ricky Slocum, another soldier from the Santa Cruz Valley that lost his life, his was stolen as well. And you know, it's one thing to steal. I mean, that in alone is a theft. But for these families, it's like, can we give them a break?
No kidding.
I mean, it really, really bothers me. So I'm thinking maybe a little extra security there in the veterans area. You know, I mean, it's just, they have to relive it every time something bad happens. And
How about some humanity from some of these people?
Yeah.
How about a little bit of that? That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's more than 300 brass and other metal vases have been reported stolen over the last month. This is from scvnews.com. 300. So my first question is security, hello, and the second is, yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that just galls me. I cannot believe that people would do that.
Yeah, and I have a personal connection to it because I love the Acosta family. They are just the sweetest people you could ever meet. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him because he's going to be our co-host when you go out of town in a couple weeks, and so we were meeting talking about that. And he, just the pain in his eyes, just it's sad. So we really need to keep our eye out on that, try to beef up security. And If you have any, ideas who this might be, call the sheriff's station and let them know.
That just
Yeah.
that just gets to
Well,
me.
and also-
it really does. That just gets to me. I can't believe that.
And then also during the same time frame from the Autry locomotive at Heritage Junction, there's been over $1,000 worth of fittings and things taken from there as well. There's a high scrap value to these items.
Well, I mean, and again, that's appalling, and certainly I'm not going to defend anything like this. It's just clearly, it's a sign of the times. It's such bad times that anything that's like that of value anywhere, the people are reduced
Do you
to
think
this.
it's a sign of the times? Because here's the thing. I think the people that are actually, okay, I've been desperate. We know that. I've been through some really hard times in the last few years. Never, ever did it occur to me to go steal to make money. No, I got a job.
Right.
And the word, when people say, oh, there's no jobs there, yeah, there are. It might not be jobs that you want to do.
That's right.
Might not
That's
be
right.
the job you like. You might get paid, a quarter of what you were paid before. You know what I mean? But you get out there and you get a job and you work hard. And, look, where was I 6 months ago, Dave? I had no job, nothing. And here I am today. And I didn't.
This is a
steal
step
any
up.
vases.
This is a step up from unemployment.
But you know what? I stepped out. You have to work, and you have to be willing to start at the bottom, and you
Right.
have, you don't go steal. Never did it enter my mind to go steal from anyone or anything.
Well, yeah, I mean.
I think it's hoodlums that are stealing the stuff, not people that are desperate.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. No, I think you're right. That's a good point.
Okay,
Tammy's right.
off my soapbox.
Tammy's right.
Okay, tell me, you got a phone call from your mother.
I got a phone call from my mom. She calls me up yesterday, and in our last program, we were talking about, we had Carla Edwards on from the
Right.
Citrus Classic Balloon Festival, and she says, I just want to let you know I've been up in a balloon. And she was talking about that. She lives in Kansas City, so watches the program online every day. Thanks, Mom. And then she started talking about the show that we did last week when we did it from Le Chien Restaurant. So go online to scvtoday.com if you want to go back and see this. And we had talked about, I had a list. I had heard about it on Mark and Brian in the morning, and I was like, I got to read this list to you. I want to get your reaction to this. So this was the Good Wives Guide from, I'm trying to remember the name of the magazine, Housekeeping Monthly?
Yeah,
I think it was,
Housekeeping Monthly, 1955.
From 1955, exactly. And she said, when she called me as we were talking about things, and she said, I just want to let you know, everything you said on that list was true. Everything you said on that list was true. And then she floored me with something. She said that she had told my father back in the 50s, the highlight of my day, this is my mom talking to my dad now, the highlight of my day is when you come walking through that door. And I thought, that is really cool.
That is cool.
I mean, it makes you kind of smile, makes you warm, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, I just heard Austin go, ah. Did he go, ah, in the speaker? Oh, it sounded like it. They're shaking their head no at me. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
hearing things now.
I guess you are. I guess you
Oh,
are.
jeez.
Aw.
Told you it was going to be one of those days.
Yeah, I guess so. What I liked about it, though, and this is what I wanted to bring up with you, and with our viewers as well, because I asked her the question, because, and I totally get the concept. Who's more important, your husband or your children? Now, my mother's answer was, when your father is home, your father. But when he was not home, the children. And I get that. I think that's a good answer.
Right.
But obviously, we all love our children. They're most important in our lives. But your spouse has to be as important, if not perhaps even more important.
Right.
I don't know. It's just a thought.
But you asked me, who's more, what was the word?
Well, see, and then I asked the question to her, if you had to choose, and then as soon as I asked that question, I was like, you know what? That's really an unfair question.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to choose. You're never going to choose.
Well, if you're in a situation where it's save one or the other, save your husband or your wife or your children, that's where you have to make the choice.
Right.
And I said I would choose my children, and I
Right.
know Jason would do the same.
Right. Right.
Because if he chose me and something happened to my child, I would in turn kill him. So, let me go. You save our children. That's
Right.
our. We made them. Those are our children.
Right.
We protect them together.
But there's certainly to be said with your spouse that it is the life that you are building together. And so it is so critically important that the two of you have that life, because your children will grow up and they will move on. So you have to have that level of importance, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I said in that program, that you have to, that we've kind of lost touch with that we've gotten into very much of a me
Right.
society.
Right.
I'm not fulfilled, and he's a great guy. I really love him, but it's just not for me. Well, that's not your kid's fault.
That's not your kid's fault. That's right.
Deal with it.
Well, I just threw it out there because I thought it was an interesting conversation. We were talking about it a little bit this morning. I wanted to throw it out there and get your feedback as well.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break.
We are?
Did you want something more? Oh, you go have more.
I am in control of this shit. No, I'm just kidding. No, let's do my list.
You want to do that now? Or you want to do that after we bring Rich Dolan out?
We'll do it later.
No, I mean, you tell me. What do you
No,
want to do?
it's okay, Dave.
We have that time. We have that segment. Do you
It's
want to
okay.
do that?
No, it's okay.
We can do that.
It's okay. We'll do it later.
We'll devote a whole segment to it.
Okay.
Rich Dolan from The Ultimate Self-Defense Academy, I believe that's what it is, is going to be joining us here shortly, so stay tuned.
Scratch Golf Accelerated, Santa Clarita's unique indoor golf training and fun center. We have great programs for kids and adults of all levels. Rain or shine, we're here to improve your golf game and have fun doing it.
It's great to practice with just the girls at Scratch.
We enjoy playing in the adult league at night. It's a great time.
And they make it so much fun for the kids too.
We love Scratch!
Come see us at Scratch.
An old knee injury used to keep me from enjoying the things I love most. Dr. Barraza has completely changed my life.
I never thought going to a chiropractor could make me pitch better, but it has. It's kind of my little secret.
What I do has proven to increase your quality of life naturally, without any drugs or surgery. Vertical Wellness, where your health and well-being is my business.
Welcome back to the program, and it is time now because Tami is so terrified of life. No, I'm kidding you. Actually, people need to be terrified of Tami.
That's right.
No, we need to be terrified of Tami because Tami is a tornado. She's a Spitfire. She's all these things. And you get on the wrong side, look out.
I'll get you eventually. That's for sure.
We have joining us Rich Dolan from The
Ultimate Self-Defense Studios.
Self-Defense Studios. I've been saying Academy, and it's Studios, so I apologize for that.
So it's the same place. It's in the Granary Square Shopping Center. It's and we teach kids and adults self-defense.
And you know how I heard about Rich was little Ashley, who came on the show for Bring Donna Home,
Right.
who raised the $200. Her mom, does Ashley take lessons from you or just her
Ashley
mom?
has been my student for almost 3 years. You know how Ashley became a student? Can I say this real quick?
Yes.
Please.
I was, I'm promoting my business, and so I'm making phone calls, and I call up Ashley's mom, and I got the wrong number. And I called up, I go, "Is this Kristen?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, how come your husband hasn't come in and done classes?" She goes, "Who's my husband, Nathan? Who are you talking about?" I go, "Is this Kristen?" And she said, "No, my name's Krista." I got the wrong number, but they had the same name. I go, "Tell you what, how'd you like your kid to come in and take a free karate class?" And Ashley's been a student now for 3 years from that one wrong number phone call.
Wow, I bet that, if anyone didn't see the show, Ashley raised $200 through bake sales and for Donna Mitchell, who'd been a victim of bullying and all of that. So, but this little girl is just precious. But now I'm starting to think that maybe you might have something to do with that core of a person that she is.
Ashley, not only has she been a student for almost 3 years now, she actually comes in now. She started with me when she was like 4, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now she helps out with my class of 4, 5, and 6-year-olds. She helps me teach it. It is so great to see how she has blossomed into what she's become.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful.
One of the things that I've always loved about what you do is that you're not only just teaching some techniques for self-defense, but you're also teaching discipline. And that's one of the things that you do with the children, is that they learn, even though they may not realize they're learning it, they're learning discipline and hard work and respect.
Absolutely. Kids have so many people, teachers and parents, and I mean, I have kids, and I'm telling my daughter no all the time. No, don't touch that. You're going to get hurt. No, don't do this. And I think kids really appreciate having somebody who is telling them what to do, but they know that I'm on their side. They know that my goal is nothing but to make them great, and I think that helps. And it's very satisfying seeing. I've taught autistic kids or Asperger's, and parents who had no idea that their kids could stand straight like this for more than a second. And the kid does it for a minute, and the parents are just crying because they see their kid just become something great, I love that.
Really cool.
It's the best.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since 1999.
Wow.
And I opened up our Agoura Hill studio, and then I moved out here and I opened up our studio in the Granary Square Shopping Center.
That's so great. So great. Well, if you can teach us a few things today.
Sure.
So is there a couple things you want to teach us, or can I give you some scenarios?
How about I just come in and I'm attacking Tami right now?
Well,
I did that pretty good, didn't I?
Instead of, I would rather you tell me, because it's not important what I know, it's important what you want to know. So let's go with that exact thing that he just did. Is that important to you? Let's say somebody came up and grabbed you like that.
That's a fear of mine, like walking into my car at the grocery store or something, someone coming. I'm always looking in the shadow of the window, see if there's somebody behind me.
Sure.
Like I am now.
A couple of just self-defense things to think about. One is you got your keys in your hand.
Yes.
If you're somewhere where you're kind of nervous about walking to your car, and even if you're not, take a key and put it through your finger. Like have a key sticking out while you're holding it, just in case. Not that you're going to go sticking that into somebody's eyeball, because that's disgusting, although you might have to. But if he was behind you and you had, could you just pretend to, if you had...
You want me to come in like this? I'm grabbing her here?
They'd probably grab up around higher, wouldn't they?
Okay, if you had the keys in your hand and you were able to take those keys and go back just enough. But the thing when somebody grabs you, would you mind grab?
How do you want to grab her?
Let's say you had it, because you'd probably want her arms. You'd probably want her arms in. The thing to think about is, one, your arms are pretty. Your arms you don't got very much right now. You could stomp on his foot.
Oh, those heels would be good.
You could take. The key to self-defense. It's kind of like having a conversation with somebody. I can't teach people, I don't know what the other person's gonna say, so I can't tell you exactly how the conversation's gonna go. So you just have to have a big vocabulary. You have to think about everything that's possible that could happen. So in that scenario right there, you gotta think.
That's hard.
You can think, what works? What do you have that works right now? Your arms don't.
Right.
But you have your foot, you have your heel that could come upward into his groin.
Right.
You have your head that could go backwards into his nose. And the thing that is stopping you, your hands actually work. Your arms don't, but your hands do. So if you were to take your hand and grab onto his thumb and pull it in such a way that his grip had to exactly.
Okay.
That's what you have to think about, not what doesn't work, what does work.
This is a little odd. Now, I was told once you drop your weight.
Well, okay, that's a good one. If
wait, you said drop your weight?
Can I do this to you just so that she can see? And then
wait, let's make sure we return to that. Okay, here we go. Okay.
That's good. When I'm like this with him, he can't go backwards, he can't go forward, he can't go to the sides. If he was Superman, he could jump up, but he's not. So all he can go is down. So if I'm squeezing, if you make your legs go wide, like if you jump and spread your legs wide, what happens is my arms slip, and that gives you the opening then to do something. That's obviously not all you do, but that's the start.
Start of an escape.
Right, and so again, when it comes to self-defense, not everything works on you got to have just tons of options so that something will work.
Right.
You really need to try to stay as calm as possible in your head to really wrap and calculate what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.
And the only way to do that is, when you take karate classes from me, repetition is the mother of all skill. And we do the same thing often. And it's because the one time that you need it, you want to be able to do it right, and so that's how you stay calm, is by doing it over and over again.
You said you started it in 1999. So what was it that prompted you to start the self-defense studio?
I've always wanted to, there's 90 of these studios, and I've always wanted to do martial arts. And I was working the graveyard shift. I was actually doing news and traffic reports for a radio station that doesn't exist anymore. And I was working the graveyard shift. And so every day I would drive down Olympic Boulevard and see this karate studio on the side of the road. And I'm going to join that place. I'm going to join that place. And it took me a year just to have the guts to walk in. And in the same week, I joined karate and started coaching Special Olympics. And I met my wife, who was also coaching Special Olympics at the time. So that 1 week where I finally had the guts to do everything was the week that changed my whole life changed in that 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was the 1 week where I said, I'm doing everything that needs to be done. And I'd always wanted to have the confidence. I'd never gotten fights in high school, never gotten fights in junior high school, never been in a fight since I've been doing self-defense. But it changed everything.
And I have to assume that there's a lot of women who come to the class and come to you.
For me? Yeah.
No,
I'm sorry, that was...
Whatever works, whatever works. Again, you just talked about how you met your wife that week, and now already wow, Rich, you got it working, man.
No,
it's going tight because Rich is very red right now in his face.
That is so great. That is true, though, because I happen to know that
women hit on him? Is that what you're saying?
Male karate instructors get like groupies. I do know that for a fact.
It's I actually, to be a karate instructor.
I used to be one.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
You can't. There's a fine line. I don't go to social events with students. They don't call me on my cell phone. Students are just students. It's a very fine line. But yes, a lot of women come for women's self-defense. Because it's scarier for a woman, It's even a woman that really knows what she's doing, just physically doesn't have the same muscle structure as a guy does, and so you just gotta have more ammunition, which is where to hit.
Now you have brought some things, and I know we're starting to run out of time, and I am with the time thing.
Good.
But you wanted to talk about some of these things.
I wanted to talk about what to do if somebody has a stick.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I just figured if they have a weapon in their hand.
Right.
Okay. You got to ask yourself, why would I have a stick in my hand? So what was the purpose?
To hit somebody.
But I could do that with my fist. So what's the purpose of the stick?
You're afraid.
To keep a distance from you.
Yeah.
To stay so that I can hit you from here and you can't hit me from there. So your job is to get close to me. If I'm here, we're going to go very slow motion. I promise you're not going to get hit right now. If I'm coming towards you with this stick and you came close like you were going to give me a hug, and I want you to bring both arms up in an X, and I want you to block my arm right here, like this.
So as you're coming towards me,
you're going to step towards me, but step even more. So now,
am I coming? Oh, I'm coming in here.
Now it doesn't matter if this thing has spikes on it and is on fire. You're not dealing with the stick anymore. Now you're just dealing with the guy again.
Right.
And
his need for antiperspirant, by the way, just another little. Now he's going to hit me with the stick.
Yeah.
Okay,
smaller stick?
Well, it's just easier to practice with this. Okay. So I want you to try this. As you block, you're going to block my arm. Now I want you to take your right arm and throw my arm down towards my groin. So just hook my
this
arm.
one?
There you go. And then with the other arm, punch to the ribs.
Right here.
Wham, just like that.
You know what my instinct was, though? I'm going to tell you what my instinct was. Let's do that again. As we came in, I did this. My instinct now was this.
I was going to show you a rising knee. That's why I brought the other bag. But
because I was sitting there thinking, okay, your ribs are exposed, and one of the strongest things I've got right now is this right here.
Knees are great. Knees are great. But see, that's good. You should have things that feel right. The actual move that I teach students here. You want to try this one?
Okay, sure.
Okay, but I want you to step with your left and not your right. So you're going to step in towards me with your left foot, block up, take my arm, throw it down. With the other hand, grab the club. Grab the club, and then smack the person in the head.
Okay.
Just like that.
Is that me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw the opportunity. I took it.
But that's the kind of stuff we teach people how to defend against knives, how to defend against.
You're next, Rich Green.
Yeah, bring it on here. He's got insecticide. He's going to spray you in the eye.
Real quick before we go.
Okay. So you were talking about, we call it a rising knee. The thing. So the stick is for when somebody trying to stay away from me. But what if they're close? What if I am put your hand up. This right here, I'm too close to you. This is where you start thinking, I got to defend myself. This right here, there's nothing I can do.
Right.
So what I want you to do, Tami, is I want you to grab onto my shoulders, and I want you to take your knee, and I want you to slam it into the bag. Pretty good. Honestly, if I was holding a big cracker, I don't know if it would have broken right there. So let's.
I have a skirt on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the attacker cares at this point if you got a skirt or not.
If I'm being attacked, I really don't
How about
care
just-
about my butt
here.
showing. But since I'm on TV,
How about one good knee before we're done?
Go for it.
One
No,
good
I
one.
can't do that.
Okay.
That was a good knee. It's called the rising knee. And when someone's close, that's what you want to think. Knee to the groin, knee to the groin, knee to the groin.
Rich, thank you very much for
Thank
being on
you.
the program. We really appreciate it. It's the ultimate self-defense studio.
In the Granary
It's over
Square
in Granary
Shopping Center.
Square. If
And
you
right
need-
now, people get a free month. No strings attached. Just come in. I'll give you a month of lessons for free. Try it out.
Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah, nothing. I'm very confident with what I do.
Boy, I guess.
Woo, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, and if you get a prank phone call, it might be from Rich. You never know. You might get some deal out of that. When we come back, we're going to be talking. Tammy's got a list.
Yes.
Yep. Way to catch up. We'll be right
Dave, I
back.
never know with you. Welcome back to SCV Today. So, Dave, I went on a hunt for a top 10 list.
Oh, good.
Since you like to do them so much, I thought I
They're
would
fun.
find one.
No, that they are fun. They're interesting. It promotes conversation.
Exactly.
It does.
Which you know I lack. That.
Oh, yeah, right.
So this one came from totallytop10.com.
Okay.
There's a lot of top 10 websites out there.
Well, you know, obviously it's a
lot.
popular thing. I mean, people are,
Yeah.
we're not the only ones doing this.
Yeah. So this is the top 10 worst unhealthy American foods you can eat.
The worst unhealthy
Yes.
foods you can eat.
So not only is it unhealthy, but it is the worst of the unhealthy foods that you
Gotcha.
can eat. So number 10
Okay.
is pasta and white bread.
Oh, that's a shame. Mm-hmm. That's really a shame.
Yeah. It really has like no nutritional value whatsoever. It's white flour, water, and eggs, and it's
There's a lot of carbohydrates still in pasta too, right? A lot of sugars and things.
yeah, it's not good. Wheat
doesn't do any
pasta. They say you should have wheat pasta. That's what
Yes.
you should be having now, which I've never tried wheat pasta before. Brandon's over there giving us a thumbs down on wheat pasta.
Why, you
Both
don't like-
of them. They're
what?
both giving
What?
hands down on.
If you're
What?
getting pasta, get pasta.
Have you tried wheat pasta?
I will never, yeah. It tastes
Okay, wait.
like-
You just said I will never, and then you said yeah.
No,
So which one is
'cause I
it?
thought about it. Yeah, I've had it before. It's like really grainy and
Yeah.
it's not the same consistency.
I'm gonna make some and bring it in, and we'll try it on the show.
I've had wheat pasta. I'm totally fine with that. But it's to me, it's more the consistency of the product as you're chewing it, not the taste of pasta.
Yeah. So okay, but you know,
That's me.
and it says that white bread is just a bread-shaped white pasta.
See, it's just such a shame. I mean, I grew up on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with white bread. I still have. I'm not supposed to say that, but I still have that.
I have white bread once a year, and that's maybe twice a year. Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Why? Why is it that those holidays require you to have white bread?
Okay. See, we're on number 10, and we're going to go off on a tangent.
I know.
My dad would create this concoction after Christmas and Thanksgiving that is so amazing, and I have actually spread this to many people that all looked at it and went, that's disgusting, took one bite, and they're like, this is the best thing I ever had. So you take in a frying pan the day after Christmas, Thanksgiving, and you put stuffing and gravy and shredded turkey.
Yeah.
And you heat it up real good, and then you got to put a lot of gravy and get it like nice. So it's literally stuffing, gravy, and turkey, and you get it nice and hot, and then you pour it over a piece of white bread. It is the most amazing thing you've ever put in your mouth. I'm telling you, it is so good. Okay, so you're gonna have to try it. That's when I have my white bread.
Now, but does it have to be white bread? What happens if you had wheat bread?
It has to be white bread.
Okay.
Has to be white bread.
Okay, continue on.
Okay, so number 9, Cinnabons.
Don't say that.
Cinnabons.
I love Cinnabons.
Yeah, yeah.
You're killing me.
Yeah, it gives you half of the calories and all of the fat you should eat in one day in one Cinnabon. I don't think I've ever had a Cinnabon.
Oh,
So good.
Oh my God.
go to the Northridge Mall right now.
Yeah.
We have a
Forget
Cinnabon-
about it.
we
We got it
have a
right over
Cinnabon
here
here.
at
I think there's one
Town
here.
Center Mall. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've
I have to
never
go to
had
Northridge.
one. Okay, maybe I'll go get one.
Oh, you gotta go. Oh my gosh. Oh, that breaks my heart.
Okay, number 8,
Yeah.
Frappuccinos.
Okay, I don't care. That's fine with me, but I know that hurts you.
About 500 calories and 20 grams of fat and 60 grams of sugar.
Wow.
Now we know, because I've told you, over the last year and 3 months, I put on 20 pounds, all liquid calories.
Yeah.
So McDonald's came out with the sweet tea, which I drink my tea plain, but all of a sudden I got into the sweet tea thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sweet teas and frappuccinos, all liquid calories. So I've cut all those out now. I don't do
Good.
those. I've because I only drink the fufu coffee. I don't drink black coffee.
You
I
don't drink regular coffee.
No.
No Folgers in your diet.
Yeah. Number 7, which is something that I don't drink, except last night I did have a Coke. Soda.
Yeah.
Yeah, soda's bad.
I mean, I've heard people who say that they just cut out soda and they lose 10, 20 pounds within
Absolutely.
just a couple. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you do that, John?
Yeah.
John did that.
Yeah,
Just cut that
absolutely.
out.
Soda for a long time.
However, now I will say this, and this has come out recently, and I don't have the science behind it. Of course, we're all about science because we're doing the Nerium study and everything else. So we're all about science here on the Today Show. But diet drinks. Diet drinks
I'm all about
make
science.
you, bigger because I think there's something about the fact that your body needs to have sugar.
Artificial sugars.
And it's the artificial sugar, so your body's going, we're not getting what we need. So now you're starting to eat pastas and white bread and everything else.
Yeah, it's so bad. Number 6 is something that I argue with people about all the time. Margarine. Margarine is the most disgusting product out there.
Danielle's over there nodding. Yep. She's like this. She's done with it.
I mean, good old butter. Margarine is so much worse for you than butter.
Hey, butter's not that good.
It's not that, but guess what? It's not on the top 10 most unhealthy list.
Okay.
But margarine is number 6.
Wow.
You know, that's pretty bad.
But I can't believe it's not butter.
That's a margarine product, but I think it's the
margarine
oils.
product, yeah. This says to dump margarine and use olive oil, which would probably be a good substitution for the.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 5.
This one's going to be really interesting to you. Low-fat foods in general.
Yeah. See, low fat means low taste.
Well, they have to make up for the taste, and they put in extra salt and sugar because it's low fat. They put in all this other stuff to replace the flavor by taking out the fat.
Yeah.
So yeah, the low-fat foods in general. And I always say that people say, "Oh, it's only so many calories." Yeah, but how much sodium does it have, and how much?
Yeah.
It's a.
Have you ever tried like the light ice cream? I mean, it's like, come on, seriously. Again, it's moderation. Just forget it. To me, I'm forgetting about the light stuff, the low-fat stuff. Just not as much quantity of the full-on sugar, fat. Bring it on.
Yeah.
It's not as much.
Makes you eat more.
Yeah.
Does it make you eat more?
Yeah.
I get the regular stuff. Number 4, potato chips. Like I needed the list to tell me it was bad for me. What? It's bad? I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Who's your
That's
number
so funny. Donuts.
John.
As the grown.
Oh.
Most donuts have 20 grams of fat and as much as 300 calories.
Just in one little donut, 300 calories. Really?
It says, for some reason, many Americans seem to associate donuts as a breakfast food.
I don't understand the question. I mean, it's not. I mean, can you have donuts for dinner?
No, you shouldn't have donuts at all, Dave.
Oh.
Okay, number 2, frozen dinners.
I've heard that.
When I was younger, we had frozen dinners quite a bit.
Yeah, I did too.
You'd put them in the oven. It'd take like 45 minutes to cook them. So there was no microwaves.
But see, it was a special
Can you
night.
believe that, you young cameramen, that I did not have microwaves? When we had microwaves when it came out about when I was about 6th or 7th grade.
I didn't either.
You're not that old.
We had a fire pit in the middle of
You had a fire pit.
Yeah.
You know what? At the Caldwell house when I was growing up, we would have TV dinner night, and that was a big deal. That was a really big deal. We'd get the TV trays. You remember these things? These guys don't remember this stuff. The TV trays. You'd sit in front of TV. It was usually a Saturday night. You'd have the banquet frozen dinner that you'd have to cook in the oven for 45, 50 minutes, and then it'd all come out, and there was all. I remember that as a little kid. That was a big deal.
The peas and carrots.
Oh yeah.
All, yeah.
Had the little brownie over there in the left corner. Oh.
When I was pregnant with Lindsay, my first, I would get the Hungry Man Mexican frozen dinner. Mind you,
Why are you laughing?
I gained 50 pounds when I was pregnant with her, and I gained 60 with the next 3. So I mean, it was like pregnant, eat, like that's what it was like.
Yeah, sure.
So I'd get the Hungry Man Mexican dinner, and I would slather it in sour cream.
Wow.
Oh, so good.
60
oh my
pounds
gosh.
later.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
I lost it though.
Yeah, you did.
People would say, how did you lose your weight after babies? The thing is, this was my secret. I ate so much when I was pregnant. I mean, so much, like gorged myself, that by the time I had the babies, I didn't want to eat anymore.
You were done.
I was done. I was like, okay, I've eaten for the next 5 years. I ate little bits then after that. I don't know, it's a sick way of thinking, but it worked for me.
The Tami diet. Get pregnant,
for
have
me.
babies, and then stop eating.
While you're breastfeeding. See if they turn out okay. No. Okay, number 1, processed food. The hot dog.
You're going to break my heart.
I will never, ever, ever give up my Dodger dogs. Ever.
Yeah. You know what I like? I like the taste of chicken hot dogs.
I've never had a chicken hot dog.
I like the taste of chicken hot dogs. That's just me.
Okay.
They make those.
Yeah, of course they make those.
It's still processed though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, the stuff they put in there, I mean, it's probably beaks and claws and toenails and everything else that goes into those chicken hot dogs.
You know, and it
Claws, whatever. Yeah, mechanically separated chicken. Oh, jeez.
it says here that eating cured meats that are full of sodium and chemical preservatives that they cause colon cancer.
Wow. Pucker factor just went up quite a bit, quite honestly.
Let's do a colonoscopy on you on camera.
Okay.
Like Katie Couric did. I'd do it. I've had a colonoscopy before.
If I have to.
Have you had a colonoscopy?
I have not. I have not.
Dave
they have
Caldwell.
Not. What?
How old are you?
Older than you.
What, 50?
I'm going to be 52.
You should be having a colonoscopy.
When my doctor, buys me dinner and then, has me bend over and do the little exam, I'm listening to what he says. And so far he's saying you're doing just fine.
How does he know what's going on up in there? He doesn't. You need to have a colonoscopy. It's nothing.
I'm not worried about it. No, seriously, I'm not worried about it. I am totally fine with having a colonoscopy. I will absolutely do a colonoscopy if it's medically indicated.
Well, I say it's medically indicated, so there. Go get it.
Okay, Dr. Edwards.
Hey, I lost my dad to colon cancer at 47.
No, I hear you.
So
Yeah.
I'm a stickler on it. And my dad would be here today if he had not been too embarrassed to go to the doctors.
I'm certainly not embarrassed. Certainly not embarrassed. I just have never had a reason to suspect. We've never had a thought about that. So.
No blood in your stool?
Nope. This is all coming off of hot dogs, by the way, which is very disappointing. There's a good list. That's a very good list.
Yeah, so now that now it's time for lunch and you can't eat anything.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, Rich Green from Green Nursery is going to join us. So
Hi, I'm John Dean with Dean Safe Company. For the last 4 decades, the first 10 people I talk to every morning have just been robbed or burglarized. I'm here to help. We have the largest selection of safes on the West Coast. We carry gun safes, pistol safes, burglary safes, fire safes, safes of all types designed for home and office. We will help you protect your valuables from fire and theft. We offer professional, discreet delivery. See it all on our website or give us a call, deansafe.com.
Welcome back to SCV Today. So Dave, they say if you find a job and you can do something that you love, you've really made it in life.
Sure.
Because not that many people can say they love their job.
That's true.
However, our next guest loves his job.
He was born literally for this job.
Absolutely.
With the name.
Absolutely. Rich Green, welcome back to the show.
Hi, guys.
Why are you blushing?
It's a true story.
It is true.
And in fact, with the name Rich Green, it's kind of cute. On a lot of the fertilizer bags, the main line underneath the statement of the fertilizer is it promotes rich green color. It's on a lot of them in our nursery, so I said, predestined.
That's so great. Well, as you know, Rich Green's from Green Landscape Nursery, and he brought along some great things again today. So where should we start?
Well, there's a lot of neat things. Maybe we can start with this one right here. There are a lot of products on the market today that can kill the bug that is causing you problems and not destroy you, your pets, all the beneficial insects like ladybugs and lacewings and praying mantises and things like that. This is one of them. If you have a citrus tree in your yard, you get these little weavy looks into your leaves. They're called leaf miners, okay? And the leaf miners destroy the leaf. The leaf absorbs the energy from the sun, and without that, the plant doesn't succeed. So this is a trap that you hang in your tree. You have 4 or 5 trees, you can hang one trap and it'll cover all of them.
And I know, Tami, if you turn that around, it'll show, because there's the trap right there. There's
actual
we saw
picture
that
of the
before,
trap
so
itself.
we'll
It's a cardboard trap. And if you put it out, this thing lasts for 5 or 6 months, and that's usually the time, the warm season, when the bugs come in and attack. And this will take out the pest, and as a consequence, leave your tree alone. You don't have to spray any insecticides on your tree, and
That is
enabling
really
you
cool.
to eat your fruit straight off the tree and not worrying about anything polluting or destroying.
What
you
is
or
the cost on this?
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. You made me take the labels off. So I can't tell
Way
you.
to go,
But this is quite costly. It's $25 or $28 or so. Yes,
But well worth it.
It's well worth it.
it.
Oh, sure.
And you're not killing the beneficial insects that are there to take care of the other bugs, but you're taking out a bad guy that was imported just recently, and is a major problem in California.
And
for
now,
citrus.
and I'm sorry to interrupt you. A quick question, because what we basically have here are pesticides. We have different ways to kill the bad guys. Basically, the bad guys for you.
Right.
Is that because we're in the middle of summer, the heat's going to be, it's been here, it's going to come some more, this is when we really need to be more aware of this?
Right, actually from spring through the beginning of fall, most of your aphids are going crazy, and now all the pests that feed on the aphids are going crazy, and your plants are growing. They have soft new growth, nice soft leaves to eat, and so the benefit of the bad insects is there. They come and they spread, and it's their time. So most of the activity then, and yeah, with our hot heat, sometimes it even promotes more rapid growth.
Now I see caterpillar killer.
This is a cute one.
Why do we want to kill caterpillars? I'm just curious.
so you think
I'm a little sad about this.
Okay, caterpillars and butterflies, but there are little caterpillars and giant caterpillars that are very detrimental. The little ones, the petunia budworm that just eats the petunia flowers. In fact, you look on it and people will call me at work and say, I have a purple caterpillar, a little purple caterpillar on my plants, or it's pink, or it's red. And I'll say, oh, it's been eating your red flowered petunia, and that's why it's red. And we have a spray that you can spray on your plants that will take away that caterpillar and hurt no one else. It's actually in this product here is an amoeba that is detrimental to the caterpillar and not anything else, not worms, not any other bugs, you or me. And the amoeba gets into the stomach of the caterpillar, and with 2 to 3 days, eats him from the inside out, but only him. So you can do this, and there's a lot of plants that have the budworms like that, and this will take care of them. It also takes care of, if you've ever grown tomatoes, you get the big green tomato worms with a horn on them,
Right.
and you try to pick them off and they actually try to hit you with a horn. Well, this guy, you can spray the plant where you see the worm, because it's hard to find them, even though they're sometimes gigantic. You just spray the area around it, and it takes them out
They
within 2 to 3
burrow
days.
at night, right?
No, they
Or
aren't-
during the
these-
day. They burrow during the day. The big green.
Yeah, the big greens.
I studied up on
Did they?
them.
They stay on? Yeah.
I
okay.
did, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they're hard to find on the plant. Big
Yeah, you
time.
can't find 'em.
Yes, and so this will take
good.
them out without hurting anyone else. It's a great product, and even though a small bottle, it dilutes a long way, so you can have this for years and years and years, and just use it when you need to make that attack.
Now, I know one of the things that you're big on, and one of the things that's always great with Rich Green, is that you can always go down to Green Landscape Nursery and ask him questions, and you won't get out of there for 20 minutes, because Rich is going to talk, because he knows his stuff. That's the best thing about it. A lot of what we have here, sprays, different things, these are all, you're very aware of pets, children, anything that could be ingested by them that will not hurt them, but will hurt the bad bugs.
Yeah.
And you got some of these things as well here.
Yeah, there are a lot of products, just regular insecticides and some of the poisons that not only will kill the initial animals that are around it, but secondary animals that might eat those poisoned animals as well. Some things like the gopher poisons, you have to be very careful. If you have to use those, great, but if an owl in the nighttime finds that gopher on the surface, or a rat on the surface, or whoever ate that kind of poison and eats it, it'll take out the owl. Now, he may eat 3 or 4 or 5 of those guys every night.
Right.
So you've destroyed your best friend, and that's the wrong thing. Or a red-tailed hawk in the daytime, the exact same way. He finds a rabbit that's eaten a poison, take the rabbit out, you've lost your hawk. And he too will eat a rabbit or so a day, all year long. So you want to be very careful on using poisons, and the insecticidal times are dwindling away. And if we can accomplish what we can accomplish here now, with really no more expense or less expense than the insecticides, great. But the knowledge of knowing what to use and when to use is vast, it's new, and so we can teach it here, and that's why I'm here now too. So,
Now, we were talking during the break, ants have now arrived in Santa Clarita. It's happened to your house, it's happened to my house. You've got this fascinating product here. Tell us about this.
Yeah, this is called taro traps. Now, this has been on the market for, I bet you, about 5-6 years now. You no longer need to ever spray ant spray. Not in your house, not outside, never. All of that is stuff in the past. And so breathing those vapors in your house, which people still do, bad for your kids, bad for your pets, bad for you, that doesn't have to happen. This product is borax based, just a mine product, borax. And it's harmless enough that one time one of my puppies ate one of these little canisters here in our house. And even though I knew it was borax, I was still worried because it was just a puppy. And I called the control center on it and told him who I was, and he laughed at me. And he said, it's just borax. But this product works fantastically. The ants swarm it. Unlike some of the ant traps and things that we used before that you never saw the ants come to, they swarm this like crazy. You put it right where their lines are in your house or outside. They swarm it, they take it back to the queen, and when the queen ingests that, she's dead that day. The ants that are carrying it, the regular army guys that work for her, die within 2 to 3 days, and you'll see your lines of ants all of a sudden turn into a slight line, and then just a sporadic ant, and then gone. Now what's nice about this, you have destroyed the entire colony, and that colony may be 3 or 4 or 5 yards away from your house, or 3 stories down in your apartment, but you destroy them entirely without killing anything else, without using any insecticides, no danger, very effective, and very inexpensive. They have a bigger model here for the yards, so if you have a lot of colonies coming in, you can attack them. I have lesser numbers of ants in my area, and I live on a mountain that's just wide open, and there were times when I could see ant lines a ½ inch wide at sunset, 5 different directions coming into my property. And now it's a rarity, but they're coming back. I see little numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
So great product.
That's great. Well, as always, we can never get to everything because you have so much knowledge. But you can go down to Green Landscape Nursery and get all of this information yourself. And thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for the time. Thanks.
Rich, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Rich.
We'll be right back.
The Donut Inn on Soledad Canyon Road has a new name, California Bakery and Cafe. You still get the donuts, hot chocolate and fresh squeezed juices, the sandwiches, croissants, and our famous tamales. But you'll also get cakes for parties, celebrations, and major events. Our unique bread baskets offer a one-of-a-kind gift, all with the personal service you have come to expect for the last 35 years. Get a cup of coffee and a Danish 24 hours a day. California Bakery and Cafe.
Well, we just have enough time to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And that's about it, Tami Edwards.
That's
Good
it.
show. Good show. Learned a lot.
Let's learn some self-defense.
Learned some self-defense. That was really interesting. That really was very interesting. I did learn an awful lot about that.
Yeah.
Learned a lot from Rich Green today. Learned a lot from your list.
All right.
It was very disappointing.
And you're going to go book your colonoscopy as soon as we wrap this up.
I am on my way.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.